as said, the military handed over what we'd collected, and from there, you know, because it was a foreign affairs basically mission here, you know, they directed the policy as to how much information and where it would go.
Captain Andrew Plunkett speaking to SBS Television. He was specifically referring to intelligence as it related to the town of Maliana. It was there on the 8th of September in 1999 that around 40 people were killed by militiamen as they sought refuge in the wake of the ballot result announcement. On the ground in the lead-up to the independence ballot was a group of Australian Federal Police officers, including Wayne Sievers, who is no longer with the force. He's backing Captain Plunkett and says the weight of evidence should increase pressure for an inquiry.
I think he was probably like 100% correct. What people in the field were saying by the time we were reporting it was politically inconvenient to the government, so it had to be doctored and hosed down, yes. And I think they were hoping against hope that in the end what we were predicting would not come to pass. The fact that it did, well, it's for the government ultimately to explain, but of course the military, and in the form of people like Andrew, are right to raise that question.
After the government failed to inform peacekeepers of expected violence, Australian Defence personnel were ordered to cover up the massacres. While the official death toll from the Maliana Police Barracks massacre is 47, Captain Andrew Plunkett estimates it was closer to 200. Leaked defence intelligence documents echoed Plunkett's concerns.
After the Likasar massacre, church sources said that the evidence was literally wiped away by the military. Bodies removed, bloodstains washed away, and bullet holes puttied and painted over. Which brings us to the current day. Last month, the DIO warned that Jakarta was rejecting American pressure to investigate human rights abuses and trying to preempt the current United Nations Human Rights Commission inquiry. It's clear that the DIO believes culpability for the massacres goes right to the top of the TNI. And it says that because of TNI concerns that senior officers like General Wiranto and his predecessors could be implicated, Indonesia's own inquiry will probably find lower-level scapegoats like Colonel Tony Suratno and Major General Zaki Anwar. But it'll uncover no higher-level strategy or direction, finding only isolated, non-sanctioned instances of abuse. At the same time, DIO warns the local inquiry will provide a further opportunity for evidence to be destroyed, lost or tampered with.
Howard's cabinet was furious over leaked intelligence, which exposed their lies, their prior knowledge of military involvement, their policy of opposing peacekeepers, and finally, their participation in covering up post-ballot massacres. The Federal Police launched a dragnet investigation covering a range of Defence Force personnel, government officials and media outlets. There were break-ins, covert investigations, rough interrogations and raids on homes. In September 2000, Australian Federal Police raided the homes of Philip Doring, Labor's Foreign Affairs Advisor, and Clinton Fernandez, the Australian Army's Timor analyst. What stood out in this particular case was the scale of the investigation, the very large resources devoted to it, and then their decision to engage in a series of highly public but unsuccessful searches. Their purpose, I think, in the end, was to attempt to intimidate people. Philip Doring, Labor's Foreign Affairs Advisor. Wayne Sievers, Lieutenant Colonel Lance Collins, the 7:30 Report, Four Corners and several newspapers were all subject to investigation. General Wiranto, commander of the Indonesian military, who was directly linked to the militia in leaked Australian intelligence documents, escaped trial. Indonesian Special Forces officer Brigadier General Mahadin Simbalan was a key figure in setting up and running the militias in their campaign of fear. He was promoted to the rank of Major General. A few years after the atrocities, Howard's cabinet resumed operations with the Indonesian Special Forces in the name of fighting terror.